I just don't know if it'll let me cut it on that phone.
It's refreshing to see a woman that actually learned her lesson and changed and shit.
They can acknowledge the offense, like.
You can tell she been through it all, bro.
Yeah. Like acknowledging, knowing that it was the Lord that brought you down low, and you know, most women to blame everybody else. No, see it.
They'll call her crazy though.
Hey, in these times, if shit that makes sense to people is nuts. But the crazy stuff is what makes sense to somebody with some sense.
Read that again. Read that again.
Okay. Verse 6. Not as though the word of Yahweh hath taken none effect. Oh, no. 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children.
Wait a second. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham, they are all children. Right? Read that. Because believe it or not, Abraham had multiple children. Well, he had 8, I believe. So the scripture says in Romans 9, neither because they're the children of Abraham that they are what?
All children.
That they are all children.
But in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
So that's the Most High again making the distinction. That's why they don't like Romans chapter 9. You got that? Just read verse 5.
This is Genesis 25 and 5. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. 6. For unto the sons of the concubines,
His other children,
which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived eastward unto the east country.
look at that. Because he had concubines back in
While he yet lived eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived 160 years.
It's like 360.
Verse 6. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had.
So Abraham had sons from the concubines. He had sons from his concubines. Okay, go ahead.
It says, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from his son Isaac.
Oh, look at that. He said, he gave all to Isaac, but his other sons, first gifts, love you, bye. Gifts, love you, bye. Because the focus was on Isaac. You see, people don't know the scriptures, man. It said Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Abraham had multiple sons. Multiple sons. All right? And yes, he had Ishmael, but it wasn't given to him. But it's good to know that you Ishmael know that y'all Ishmael, because that helps us out. Like we had the Ishmaelite here. He said, yeah, we believe that Ishmael's our father and that anybody can be saved. Blase. That's perfectly fine for you to believe that, but understand that we're Isaac and there's a difference. And you know there's a difference. That's why you help forward the affliction. That's why we can't do business with y'all. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just want to reap the benefits of us and our oppression and exploit us, but at the same time say, oh yeah, we'll believe anybody. Yeah, right? You won't go to business with me. You won't go to business with me. You won't put me on game so I can know the ropes to help. Of course not. But at the same time, you say anybody's welcome in your religion. That's bullshit. So you go back to that. So this is Paul saying, not only because they are the children of Israel, seed of Israel,
All right.
Abraham, that they are children. Go ahead.
Continuing on in verse 7. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Again, that's a distinction. Keep going.
That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yahweh.
You see, they which are the children of the flesh said, "What? These are not the children of Yahweh." So how can you say God loves everybody? Who's that talking about? The children of the flesh is pretty much anybody that sure came out of Abraham, but that don't mean that they come out of this came out of Isaac. You understand? In fact, so
Just
okay, go ahead.
this is Galatians 4:22, where it is written that Abraham had two sons, one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise.
So that right there shows you that people of the flesh was who? You can say Abraham's other sons. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 24, which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants, one from the Mount Sinai, which generated to bondage, which is Agar. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which is now and is in bondage with her children.
So you see, there's a distinction. And then isn't it written in the book of Galatians, that same chapter? Didn't it say what said the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman. So the Most High is still with you. See? So it's you Christians that can't run to Romans 9 to try to justify Gentiles and whatnot. Because we ain't even halfway through the chapter yet, and this is clear as day. All you got to do is know the precepts. And then give me I'll read that first. Because guess what? Abraham had Isaac. Isaac had more than one child. He had Jacob and Esau. Esau came out first. Why are we saying, "Blessed be the God of Abraham, Isaac, Esau, and Jacob"? Isaac and Jacob. Why? Because that's where that line goes. You understand? If you was to draw a family tree of everybody starting from Abraham, and if you was to connect the dots of how the story continues, because the story doesn't talk about Abraham's sins. The story doesn't talk about Esau. It mentions him when he's relevant, but it's in regards to Israel. The story immediately jumps to Jacob and his journey and how the 12 tribes came about. It didn't stop and say, all right, let's go over to the Dukes of Edom. And there was a man named Edom, amongst Edom, and here are his kin. He didn't give a fuck. You know, it gives you the lineages, though, of his children.
But
right?
But it don't go into like details.
The Most High didn't come to him and say, Esau offered me a sacrifice, set up a tabernacle. That never happened.
Right.
You didn't get Esau to, it's
Lessons.
Yeah, the scripture said the total opposite. It said he laid his mountains and his heritage waste.
Right.
You know?
And Esau is mentioned. Yeah, as Amalek coming to kill or bind Israel from coming out of Egypt. And what the Lord say about them? I will forever have pretty much wipe Amalek off the map for the most part, to roughly put. So they are mentioned, but they're an enemy to the Israelites. It didn't say, Esau served bondage this year and that year. It's not how it works, man. Just like that woman was able to accept that the Most High has the power to choose and separate, as he separated the clean from the unclean, he also separated the holy from the profane. And brother read Revelation 11. You got the Israelites in the temple, then you got the temple that's without. Those are the Gentiles. Profane literally means outside the temple. So why didn't the Lord tell John to measure both the temple and the outside? In fact, measure the whole world, because I love everybody. It's not how it works. See?
2 Ezra 3:15, and it reads, it says, and made us an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau.
So Esau got put by. That's written, man. Esau ain't gonna make it, man. You hear that vocab? Vocab, you're done. Yeah, you can use what's going on with Israel and Sakari and all that. But guess what? You still need a mic. We already know you're gonna use that so-called that so-called Islam black nationalist dude, whoever that is, right? They deleted his profile. I wonder why they did that. They deleted the so-called black. His name was Noah Green or something like that. It's funny, his name was Noah Green. They deleted his profile. I wonder why they did that. Or maybe because on his profile it don't show none of that shit. So they deleted it. But normally they keep it up. If that person was involved in some gang related, that's how we know this is another psyop. If that person actually did those things, right? You already know vocab. You gonna use that to say you see them Israelites are dangerous. We know you gonna come. We know you are, right? But at the end of the day, you are an Edomite. You were put by. You're not under the wing of the Heavenly Father and the Son.
Right.
And you mad, so you just help your brothers, Esau, to take us off the street. That's all you do. Here you are, you Edomites, man. You scum. You're the most violent people on the planet Earth. Everything you do is steal and take. That's all you do. Steal and take. Right? You don't have anything to be proud of. That's all you do is take and steal and lie. That's your specialty, man. Deception.
That's why, hey, you got a lot of these millennial young white kids that's coming up. They saying, hey, I don't even want to be white, you know, because history is real shameful, you know. Yeah, imagine coming from a lineage, you know, everything that you ever owned, you stole. You stole, and you know what you did to our brothers, the natives, the Gadites, and what you did to the Southern Kingdom, the Judahites. You know, yeah, that's real shameful. That's nothing to be proud about. What you mean you proud to be an American? You know, 'cause everybody know that this country is corrupt.
That's right.
And everything you learned was a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie by your people.
Yeah. And they know Christopher Columbus wasn't no damn hero. That was a straight murderer.
Yeah.
Hey, all those Edomites that came over here was some of the vilest people of Europe.
Rejects.
Yeah, and they carried all type of diseases with them. You know, the smallpox, blankets, and all that.
So it was true they actually basically covered the
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
part.
To attack kill the gay. So this is what you're known for, but you're gonna try to label us as a hate group. You got so fucking nerve, man. You know? And that's because Esau is a sore loser. If I can't beat you, then I want you out of the picture. I'm gonna use my gun. Right? That's the type of person that resorts to violence because you beat him in an argument. You proved your point. Right? Since I said that, no, sorry. First. We're going to show you how you Edomites, you can never come into the love of the Heavenly Father. Okay? Because does not the scriptures talk about love thy brother? Right? If you admit that we're close, you got every Edomites every now and then. Brother. And they'll walk up to you, something, brother. The Edomite did that to me on a job. She's trying to get my move over, brother. Like, are you trying to be hip or something? It doesn't work. Okay. Now I'm your brother all of a sudden? Okay.
This is Hebrews 11.
No, I'm sorry.
This is 1 John chapter 3, verse 11. It reads, "For this is the message that she heard from the beginning, that we should love one another. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him?
Like, why a slave?
Because his own works were evil and his brothers righteous.
That's what he does. If you beat this man in a logical debate or whatever, you bring out the facts and proof. If he can't beat you, he's pulling out the sword. You know, you made me look bad. I'm gonna kill you. That's exactly what Cain did to Abel. This nigga brought fruit, and Abel brought a worthy sacrifice. And the Most High said, "Good job, Abel." Cain shot him. Cain said, "You made me look bad. I'm gonna kill your ass." That's Esau, Edom. That's your so-called home.
And the Lord told you. He said, "Hey, if you was to give a good sacrifice, you'll be accepted too." And what he do? He killed his brother.
And he said, if you don't, sin lieth at the door.
Right.
That's what that envy and covetousness eventually brought him to do, is to sin, to his own brother. That's you Edomites, man. You a slave of your own brother.
Yeah, hey, and that's proud as hell. Instead of taking the low, because Esau can't take the low. He always want to be right, prove his point, and win by any means necessary. Even being cheating, stealing, lying, or whatever. That's you devil spirit.
Yeah, you cheat to the top. That's just how you get down. You're a cheater. You just cheat. That's your specialty.
Yeah, and look, and he don't feel no type of way about it. And then when he get exposed, he want to kill you.
Right.
That's wicked as hell.
That's why people know now, like, if you say something that's true, you're in danger. Right?
Yeah.
What happened to the woman that said Michelle Obama was a man? Dead. That sent the message to pretty much anybody else to make mention of that anymore. Nobody made mention of that on public TV. Because they're afraid of truth. And those were some stinking Hamites. But regardless, Esau doesn't like the truth. Right? Because the society was, like Elder Malcolm said, since the society is established on lies, America is established on lies, waking up to the truth is an act of war. It's the truth. They pretty much like, oh, y'all want to come to some truth now? Oh, you standing for us right now? Huh? I got something for you. I'm gonna label you a terrorist. I'm gonna lock you up. I'm gonna try to cancel culture you. Look into anybody that tries to speak the truth. They get so-called canceled. Right? Nick Cannon made a right statement that we are the real Jews. They lit his ass up. But he's a weak man, so he voted. But why did they do that? Because he was coming with the truth. Esau was like, oh nigga, you want to come with the truth now? Let me go and hurt your pockets, because I noticed all you niggas hurt. Right?
And it was rumored that vocab was, which we found out the rumor wasn't true, at least according to vocab. A lot of NFL players was waking up to the truth. And it was a rumor that he was hired to basically tell them that you're not an Israelite.
That's true. No, that's actually true.
So he was hired?
Yeah, he admitted. He said he was hired on one occasion to do on one team or something. He admitted. Okay.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
Snake?
Quick precept. This is Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, woe to that bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. So that's America at its finest, full of lies and blood. And also, another way they persecute is they take down our channels, flag lists, and things like that. It just happened to me. I can't post for a whole week.
Yeah. I got it back up. I just came off a 2 week suspension. So I just upload back up. I know how these Edomites are. That's how they do it. They take down our video. They hate the truth that much. Little old us. What do we pose a threat to? We got 20 subscribers. If we're such nutcases, leave us to our own thing, Why are you taking down our videos? Because it's the truth. But, some sodomites go on there. It was vexing as hell. I saw the sodomite make a video saying my top gay crushers.
What they say?
Millions of views. My top gay crushers.
Oh,
like
Lord.
gay actors and gay singers. Like crushers. Millions of views, bro. I said, okay, this filthy shit